We're good?
Now we're good.
All right, let's do it. I feel like it's time for comedy. What do you guys think? That's pretty good. That was pretty good for a first response, but you know I do this twice. I like how you play this game. Let's go back and forth. I said it's Monday night. Who's ready for some comedy? I love this little game that we play, you and the audience and me, the comedian. Good to see you. My name is Chino. I'm your host tonight. If you didn't know, you're here for the Comedy Simulator, a simulated comedy experience. What does that mean? Well, we are not real comedians. You are not real audience. What does that mean? Well, you didn't pay a cover charge, so lower your expectations. That's what that means. This means this is going to be a simulated comedy experience. It'll be as funny as you allow it to be. Pretend like you're a good audience, and we'll pretend like we're good comedians. You see how this works? We'll do our best. We have a weekly theme. Some weeks we do comedy or crowd work. We do comedy everything. Sometimes we do crowd work. Sometimes we do heckle night. Not tonight, friends. Put it back. Sometimes we do topics from a bucket where they riff off of whatever they randomly get. We've done the wheel of comedy. What else have we done? So many different comedy nights. We had a critique night last week. That was fun. A little slow, but it was fun. This week, it's just simply new material. Don't stress yourselves, comics. Just tell some new jokes. Audience, don't have to give too much tonight. Just be here, be present, listen to the jokes, laugh if they're funny. If they're not, just don't make that sour face then. Because we can see that when you cross your arms and give us that. Not you, that arm cross is friendly. There's a difference between angry arm crossing and friendly arm crossing. That's friendly arm crossing. No, your fingers were open. If you hide your fingers, that's negative arm crossing. That's a negative, exactly. And then if you're hiding your hands around you, then you're a b-boy. And I'm like, oh shit, he wants to battle. That's what's up. Let's do this. We also live streaming this show. This is on our live stream YouTube channel. Don't worry. One people maybe are watching currently. Maybe. But if you want to be one of those one people, it's at Comedy Simulator on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and start the simulation. I'm going to do my opening 5, and then I'm going to give it to the next comic, and then we're going to move it around. We have a hard out at 9 comedians, so that means if you're on the list, you're on the list. If you're not on the list, no guarantees. We got to make sure that we're out. We respect the venue. By the way, give it up for Paia Bay. Letting us have comedy here. The home for comedy on the North Shore. We love them. Maddie behind the bar, mixing good drinks. Daniel's the manager on the floor. These are the names that you will be reporting later to Google when you're giving a positive review. And my name is Chino. All right, we got through that. You guys ready for new material? Are we doing this? All right, I'm in the button. Begin simulation. All right, so instead of telling new jokes, I'm going to go through my new joke pad, and you guys give me a number 1 through 12. I'll let you pick. 6. 6 was the first one I heard. Here we go. I'm going to my notes. Joke number 6. All right. This one's pretty rough. I don't know. This might not be good. You know when you bump into a friend at an airport, and you have that forced conversation where if they're not really good friends, you have to kind of like make up some ground, try to be more excited about it. I bumped into one of these friends where I was like, ooh, I kind of forgot their name. Kind of acquaintance, but I was like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, it's Rob. I'm like, Rob, sorry, it was tip of my tongue, Rob. What are you going to Oahu for? Anything fun? He's like, we're actually going for a funeral. And I was like, you didn't let me finish. Are you going for a funeral? Yeah, he had the same reaction. All right, there we go. That's why they're new jokes. You know, you never know if they're going to win or not. All right, who wants another number? 4. I heard a soft 4. I heard a soft 4. Who said they want a soft 4? No, Corky's like, no. I can tell when Corky objects. That's very specific. Oh, okay, this is a good one. I was being annoyed by one of my friends today, but it was also while they were telling me that they're an empath. And I'm like, you don't fucking feel that? Serious? You don't feel that? And she just kept on reading my tarot. It was, Yeah, all right. That was a quick one. That was a quick one. All right. I got one for you. So I was at a museum in Los Angeles when I just went out recently, and there's an aerospace museum where they have astronauts' helmets. And I got to see inside the astronauts' helmet, they have little brushes. I was like, what are those little brushes for? They're like, actually, that's so the astronaut can scratch their face when they're on a spacewalk. And I was like, that is fascinating. Because you know that space helmets didn't always have those brushes. It was probably the first astronaut that got out for his first spacewalk and saw the beauty of space and was like, wow, this is incredible. It's just miles and miles of nothing. It's really awe-inspiring. Houston, we've got a big fucking problem. We got a problem. Like, that's probably why the first 3 space monkeys freaked out and they couldn't figure it out. Like, they just had the space monkeys and the helmet like, ah, ah! It's like, why are they clawing at their face? Because they have an itch right here. How long do you think you could last with an itch on your face for in space? Throw out a number. 15 minutes?
5.
A few minutes, right? The average spacewalk is 7 hours. Can you imagine that? You're just like, just let me spin into oblivion. I don't want. All right, that's a new one. All right, give me one more number and we'll give it to the first comic.
1.
What was that number?
You said 11, I said 1.
1.
A lot of ones, whatever's got a 1 on it.
All right, I'll take the double one. I like double one. Okay, here we go. I feel like football is like astrology for men. It really dictates a lot of how our mood's going to be throughout our week, depending on how a certain day on Sunday goes. And it's also like how we judge our friendships. Where we like meet another man, it's like, hey, who's your football team? Oh, you're Kansas City? We can be friends. We can be friends. We're compatible, right? Oh, you're a Viking fan? All right, you guys, what was wrong with that joke? Was it the football?
Signs.
Was it the face? Was that?
Call them signs. It'll work better.
Signs? Is that better? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try to mix it up. I'm here to work on things just like anybody else, all right? Oh, okay. By the way, before we get this started, audience member of the night gets a free bottle of hot sauce. That will be determined at the end of the night. You must make it to the end of the show to earn your bottle of hot sauce. That's what a good audience member does. And a comedian of the night gets to split the tips with me, so if you have a good set, or if you just are so endearing, I feel like you deserve half. That's what we're doing. I'm a split tips with you. Now, I would like to introduce something to the comedy night, all right? Some sets go amazingly, some go terribly, but we're all trying here and we're all friends with each other. So, I would like to introduce that whoever has a rough set tonight, we'll let them decide and the audience decide if they would like to wear the bomb cap. Now this bomb cap is not a dunce cap. This is not a cap of shame. This is a cap of pride. If you have a rough set, own it. It's okay to have a rough night. And when you wear this hat, if you see somebody wearing this hat after a set, follow their Instagram. Buy them a drink. Pat them on the back. Let them boost off your meth pipe. Whatever you got to share. Don't do it. No. I'm not encouraging. I was just saying give something. No. Give them a better night. This is an indicator that the set didn't go as great, but you can learn from it, and also that we can laugh at our failures. So, whoever earns the coveted bomb hat this evening, by the way, you don't get to take it home. This is my hat. I want it back. I bought this for $35 on Etsy. This is my freaking hat. Don't take it home. That goes for everybody. All right. If you want to wear the dunce cap tonight, just eat shit. All right. You guys ready to start this night? Ladies and gentlemen, your first comedian of the evening, very famous for her work in burlesque and cabaret shows across the island. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Abra!
Thank you, Chino. Hi, everyone. I'm Abra. Oh, it's so good to be here tonight. I see so many beautiful friends in the audience. Hi. You're not my friends yet, but you're beautiful. That's right. I'm looking at you guys. So, my name is Abra. My Iowan parents wanted me to be a magician. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I really disappointed them by becoming a farmer. Yeah, she got it. She's from the Midwest. And now I'm trying to be a clown. Yeah, I'm trying. Anyway, but everyone, you remember my Hawaiian name from last week? Say it with me. Hello, I'm A-Fra. We'll do it every week. It'll be like a sing-along. Holy crap. All right, let's take a deep breath. Okay, feel better. Are there any parents in the house tonight? Anybody who has had children? By the way, Chino, the worst thing besides an itchy face and space is giving birth. Because you're literally trapped in that tube, and you could actually die. Just saying, it's worse. You don't want to scratch your face off, but I mean, anyway. Yeah. So no parents here. Way back there. I know. It's shameful. It's okay. It's okay. I love my kids when they're like really well behaved. So mostly while they're sleeping. Yeah. I'm trying really hard to like not cuss around them. So I tell them I have Tourette's to make up for it. This is for you guys in the back. Yes. Everybody else, birth control. Seriously. Stay with it. It's worth it. Yes. You will enjoy your life a lot better. You will get a lot more sleep. But raising kids now is a lot different than it used to be. Now we call it traumatizing our children. Whereas before they called it child rearing. You know? Now we fuck up our kids instead of fucking our kids. Oh, now you're paying attention. I don't do either of those. We're traumatizing them. That's right. Therapy is what I will be getting my kids. Actually, no, I'm not going to get them therapy. I'm going to tell them to start drinking when they're 21. Yeah, because you know what? Therapy's expensive, okay? And you go there for a really long time, and you may or may not feel any different. You go to the bar, one drink later, and you feel totally different, right? You feel happy, you feel loose. After like several drinks, you can hit that hot bottom, rock bottom, hot bottom. Anyway, you can hit that rock bottom that like actually elicits change and speed up the whole therapy process. You see? It's a thought process. Traumatizing, child rearing. It's okay. Holy hell, kids. Alright, I'm gonna go to something you like or can relate to. Okay, so dating on Maui. Something I like to talk about. I feel like I've become like a super sleuth or like a private investigator or like a private dick of dick. Because on that first date, I want to just break a man. You know, I want to break him. I want to break him quick. I want to break him down hard, and then I can leave and know that it wasn't a failure. So I asked psychological questions on that first date, ladies. May I? I'm asking consent because consent is sexy, people. Yes, it is. It is. Okay. So, do animals have feelings? Yes, good answer. That means you have a soul. Yes. You may or may not be vegan. And you like animals. All the things. You win. Gold star. Okay. What would you do with $100,000?
Give some to charity.
Wow. That's way better than settling credit card debt. Or like paying the baby mama. Or like, some. That's good. I like these questions, and I love your answers. Okay, one more. How do you feel about vasectomies?
Rock on.
Yay! That's also my answer. Kind of like, woo! Free pass. That's right. Single moms love vasectomies, people. And then on that first date, I like to cry. Yes, I like to very openly cry, like sobbing. And just to see if they'll hold me, you know, that's the proper response, by the way. If you see someone crying, you hold them, unless they're like in an alley or covered in vomit. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I do this just to see if they'll hold me, or if they're gonna pat me on the back like a dog, because nobody likes that. Okay, last one. I'm worried about getting older. So I got the app, the facial yoga app. Yeah, I started doing it 5-10 minutes a day, stuff like this. Yeah, and after the third day I canceled the app because I'm like, I'm old enough to call this a blowjob. And that's right. Blowjobs cure wrinkles. And that's my set. My name is Abra. Follow me on Instagram, Abra Comedian.
Give it over Abra, ladies and gentlemen. And that's Johnny Sins Mouth Yoga. That's Johnny Sins Mouth Yoga. The perverts got that joke. Anyone who didn't get that joke, good for you. I like you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, by far one of the best writers with the Power of Comedy group. She's been voted Maui's best comedian before. Give it up for Corky Gardner!
Hot bottoms.
Hot bottoms.
How you guys doing? So there's a new book called Let Them, and I thought I'd send a copy to the police department. See if they can get on board. Someone asked me if I can, they said they wondered if I can communicate with the dead. I'm like, I can't communicate with the living. I get nervous sometimes around guys. One time I had a hairbrush in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. And I'm sitting next to this guy and he's talking to me. And while he's talking, I went to brush my hair, but I dumped the coffee on my head. And he's still talking, but when he looks over, all down my face and my glasses, he's like, what happened? And I don't know, I get nervous. I get nervous, things happen like this. But man, and my hair was not good either. Anyhow. What else? Okay, and then in San Francisco, I accidentally winked at somebody because I was at a bar and I was trying out my winks because I hadn't winked at everybody, and it worked. I didn't think it would, and then I'm like, oh no, how do you unwink? Because I was just trying out my winks, and he came back to me, and he's like this, he's like, ah, like 3 times. It felt so bad, and I just stared at him blankly like he lost his fucking chance. And my friend's like, let's go. That's why I don't drink. Can't control my fingers. All right. Let's see, I do embarrassing shit all the time. The other day, my friend told me, meet me at the stop sign, right? Get in the red truck. And I did that, but it was the wrong truck. And there's a lady with a baby. And she was screaming at me. And the real dude is behind me. He's watching me carjack this lady. Embarrassing, right? You guys been there? Yeah, embarrassing, normal stuff. I hate when the microwave beeps. It's like so loud. I'm like, man, these guys are definitely gonna wake up. I'm always like stealing people's food. Hot Pockets. Can't they be quiet? I can't unplug this thing. I just want to steal a little food in your kitchen. Just be quiet. Okay. I went on dental, you call it a dentist. I went to a dentist. And the dentist is like, are you married in a relationship or divorced? Do you use alcohol, cocaine, or other drugs? I'm like, is this a dentist or Match.com? My most productive time of the day is 5 minutes before work. I'm composing songs. I'm finally cleaning the room. Filing my taxes. You got 3 minutes to kill. Wait, maybe I'll do a cute bow today. Do some eyeliner. I am on fire 5 minutes before work. That's why they don't like me at work. I'm so optimistic, I tried to work it out with the rejection hotline. I'm like, come on. The bar I went to, they asked me for an ID. I'm like, the best I could do is a police rendering. What else? Well, why can't I ever get hit with a good beer? You know? I mean, hit me with a Heineken, I'm worth it. It's all look like Miller Lite or some shit. Come on. Okay, it's probably time to go, right? There was one joke I waited 7 years to say. I waited for the moment, and it was when my coworker was making dumplings. He's like, I ripped the dumpling, and I'm like, that's wonton disregard. So stupid. 7 years. 7 years. I got more in my back pocket. All right, guys, thanks for coming out.
What did I tell you? She's freaking hilarious, right? Give it up one more time for Courtney Gurney. Now don't approach her immediately. She's gonna hide for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can tell her she was a good leader. Setting the bar high for the set of the night. Appreciate it, Courtney. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the stage, he's the gentleman that runs the camera. He's our videographer. He's one of our weekly comics. You see him every week. Give it up for Dan Stevens.
Alright, I am Dan Stevie. Let's keep it going for Chino. Alright, we're starting this show off great. Amber and Corky, you both rocked it. You both rocked. Oh, now I'm gonna bring it down. Yeah, fuck, Jesus, yeah. Sucks to be you right now. Sucks to be me more. Oh man, new material. I don't know, I screwed up my knee yesterday. Just existing. You know, getting older sucks. You know, after you have a 4 in front of your number, once you hit 40, 39 was great. Once I turned 40, like, everything hurt. Like, gravity felt, stronger. Oh my God, yeah, I don't know. It's like, you get more white hairs. I don't know, like, when you surprise yourself in the mirror because you think you have a coat booger, and it's just a white hair. It's like, man, times have changed. It's sad. But yeah, no. Do we have any? I was in the Army. Do we have any other veterans in here? None. Thank you for your disservice. Wow. Okay, well, mine wasn't much better. I just ate a bunch of acid and dated some strippers. Wound up eating roses in the bars, so you're welcome for my service. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe my military experience was different than most, but it started off really bad. My recruiter stole everything that I owned. That's a bad start. I was living out of a duffel bag, and I came out of boot camp to find out that the recruitment center had moved. My recruiter got dishonorably discharged for theft in drugs. It was at least theft of my stuff, but a bunch of other things too. Yeah, it didn't really pick up from there. So I don't even know where to go from that. Jesus Christ. But currently I'm doing a bad thing for a good reason, or maybe it's a good thing for a bad reason. I don't know. I'm ghosting somebody on the phone.
Mixed feelings.
Hear me out. This guy that I rented an apartment to is using me for a reference. And the nicest thing I can do is not answer. Because I hate this fucker. Oh my God, he was the worst tenant ever. And the only thing that's like having me dangle on is that he's the uncle of a friend. Like otherwise, I would absolutely answer and say, do not rent to this motherfucker. Like, okay, so one thing, who has sleep apnea in here? Do you make sex noises in the night? Yeah, probably not. But this was months of hearing this old, like 70, just under 70-year-old. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I know he's not having sex, but he's like, no, I have sleep apnea. It's like, that's not what that is. I guarantee you that whatever doctor you went to, you need a second, third, and fourth opinion. That's not sleep apnea. And yeah, I don't know, he just left his TV running all night, would fall asleep to it, and it's very thin Maui housing construction. So you can hear everything. And I'm hypersensitive anyway, so if I hear something, I hate it. And it was just constant. So I'm being polite and not helping him get a new apartment. I thought that was a saintly thing to do. Life, meh. I had a bit of a Scooby-Doo moment the other night. Yeah, I have glasses, as you can see. Have you ever misplaced your glasses and need other glasses to find your glasses? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you're doomed, because I don't have another pair of glasses. So this was me pulling a Velma on the bedroom floor in the morning, trying not to wake my wife up. And all I could say was jinkies. Sucks. Oh, all right, one more minute. All right. Let's see. Hey, did you guys know that they're canceling pennies? On top of everything that's going on in the world, they're canceling pennies, which should have been done a long time ago because it costs 5 cents to make a penny. And it costs 15 cents to make a nickel. That's the government for you. Yeah. It's windy. Yeah, this is fucking up the recording here. Okay, last one. I'll finish up with this. All right, so I hear like the maternity numbers, like the birthing numbers, are going down in a lot of places. And the number one that kind of popped out at me, it was North Korea. They're having less and less babies. And what does a dictator need? They need little dictator tots. All right, I'm Dan Stevie. That's my time.
Give it over to Dan Stevie, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Gracefully dodging the bomb hat. Good job, friends. You got an applause break.
I wouldn't mind wearing it.
Yeah, I think we all just found out that nothing will turn an audience on you faster than telling them that you have tenants. I think I see a room of renters here. It's okay. I'm one of you too. Or one of us. Is it us and them yet? I don't know, not yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian coming up to the stage runs the monthly show at Parlay that we just did this Thursday, which was a fantastic show. It was a fantastic show. It was a great show. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Rhonda Lee Kidd!
Keep it going for Chino LaForge. My name is Rhonda Lee Kidd. I'm very happy to be here. Are we excited for new joke night? Yeah. I actually, it's fitting. I had a dream last night that I told a joke on stage, and it fucking killed. But the joke in my dream sounded like, well, can you guys still have the reaction? That would be great, actually, if I just go, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that wasn't the joke, but we'll figure out. Maybe it's on this list of new jokes. I've never tried cocaine before. One woo in the back. Everybody else is like, you'd love it. I don't know if I should be offended that when I tell people I've never done cocaine, they're like really surprised. They're like, you? Okay. But yeah, they're like, why? Is there a reason you've never tried it before? And I'm like, have you seen people on cocaine? Because for a long time, I didn't even know what that looked like. For the longest time, I just thought all my friends had really good late night business ideas. And were really interested in everything I had to say, and just had to use the bathroom all the time. I was like, you know, we've all got bladder problems, and then I realized, I was like, oh my God. Everybody's doing coke in the bathroom. And then they'd ask me to do it, and I was like, no. I'm not religious anymore, but I think I can still go to hell. Should I do Coke? Okay, we'll do a cheer thing. I'll do a yes or no. If you think I should not do Coke, cheers. If you think I should do Coke, cheer. If you have Coke, cheer. Okay. So that wasn't the dream joke either, but it was fine. I'm happy with that. Maybe for comedy, right? I should probably be like, just experiment. Write some jokes about doing Coke, right? Should I be I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know, I think it's a good thing that we don't have freak shows anymore like we used to have at carnivals. You know, because they're mean and they're otherizing, and it's just essentially like making fun of somebody with a deformity and putting them on a public platform to do that. And then as I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, we have a modern day freak show. And it's every single show on the TLC channel. Where they're like, I'm like, how are they getting away with this? But they're just like, you want to watch 6 hours of the Jumbo Wumbo sisters? And you're like, what? Or they'll be like, this lady had 26 kids. This guy eats couch cushions. There's two super tiny people, and guess what? They're married to each other. I'm like, this is just P.T. Barnum all over again. And they're posing it as like, we're learning. That wasn't the dream joke either. Maybe it's this one. I was driving down the road the other day, and I saw in the car in the lane next to me a little poodle head pop out of the driver's side window. And we're going like 40. And I'm like, a little part of me is like, what if the poodle's driving? It's not. But I was like, that's cute. And then a second little poodle head that dropped out of the driver's side window. And at first I was like, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And then this second I was like, why is that guy allowed to have 2 poodles on his lap while driving? And I'm not allowed to text? Okay, that wasn't the dream joke either, but we're working on it. My name is Rhonda Lee Kids. Please put your hands together for Chino Ford.
Woo! Rhonda Lee Kids! That is a tough pickle you're in with the cocaine situation. I used to do I'm out the game. I'm long out the game. And you guys should be happy too. Because they have things out now that they didn't have when I was in the game. You guys are so lucky that they didn't have boba straws. Have you guys seen the size of boba straws? Do you know how many parties I could have ruined? Hey, Chino, you want a bump? Yeah, sure. Where's my key? Holy shit, what happened? I need it. How am I going to get home? Oh, okay. I got a bunch of pussies in here, apparently. Then you guys blew out a day after booger and shoved it back in your mouth like a warrior. All right. I'm dealing with a bunch of bubble gummers here. All right. That's all I need to know. Ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian, not a bubble gummer. Not afraid to eat a Coke booger in the shower. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know that. Give her Jackson Baby!
I think Chino has a camera in my shower. No, I'm one of those people that, you know, you gotta touch the stove to find out it's hot, right? Which is just how I tell people I've gotten a DUI before. Guys, I got a DUI before I could legally drink. And if you are to get a DUI, I would recommend to do it while you're 20. I mean, I could have had, you know, that on my record for life. But it's only on there for 10 years now because I was underage. So technically, if I were to get another DUI at 31, it'd be my first offense. I could get off at that point, guys. Didn't laugh at all. You get a DUI on the way. Just kidding. I don't know that. No, I told my family about it and stuff, except for my grandmother and my little sister. Because like, my little sister's always been like, so innocent. I didn't want to tell her. Like, she was the kind of kid that like, if somebody said cunt in front of her when she was a kid, she would go, hey, don't use the K word. Yeah, I didn't want to tell her I got a DUI. And then I was just back with her at a casino, and she was driving home. And she said something about drinking and driving, and I looked at her like, real serious, and I was like, hey, never drink and drive. And she just looked at me like with a little knowing smirk. And I was like, wait, do you know what I'm going to say? She's like, yeah. I forgot we're in the 21st century. I asked her how she knew. She Googled my name, guys. My name just comes up on Google. So yeah, luckily my grandmother can't use Google. My dad, he's in New England. He's a construction worker, and he's a white dude. So naturally, over the last, few years, he's been getting into a lot more like Republican Facebook. I know I'm in Paia, guys. Hear me out. And he, it started out really normal, like, the Trump is gonna fix everything. And then it really got far right, which I don't even know is far right anymore. He was explaining to me that big water, like, raised our daily water intake, so water bottle companies could sell more water bottles. I had that exact reaction, guys. I didn't know what the fuck to say to that. So I just started agreeing with him. I'm like, yeah, dude. And you know that big pencil actually made up silent letters so we use more lead and have to buy more pencils? He's only used pens ever since. No, I mean, as far as like construction New England guy, like he's very that like, tough, no emotion kind of guy. Like I've seen him cry once my entire life. And I kind of inherited some of that as well. Like I don't really talk to my friends about my emotions and stuff that much. But it's also weird because like one of my friends has seen me have sex before. So like all I'm saying is that one of my friends has technically seen me come before he's seen me cry, guys. All right, that doesn't always go that way. So we're in Paia here. So we got any single people in here? Single people? All right, I'll do a little PSA for you guys. If you're ever thinking about dating somebody who lives in a van, don't do it. Don't do it. I did it for you. She gave me my first line of ecstasy and it turned out to be meth. No, I didn't like it, guys. I actually did. And then I started doing that bit and I realized like, oh shit, my parents are gonna see this. So I had to quickly call both my parents and go, hey, so just for your information, I've done math before in case you see a joke about it. And, they get all like worried and stuff. And they're like, oh, like, where are you gonna like keep doing it and whatnot? I was like, no. If I were to, I would have never told you guys. All right, new material then, guys. Thank you very much. And thank you very much.
You just told everybody who's next. Let me know. Woo! That was a close one.
Looks like I nailed it. Sometimes you just kind of get a good read on things. One more time, Jackson Bay, bye, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, buddy. John Callie, you ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, longtime fan of the Comedy Simulator, but first time performing, right? Wonderful. You can't bring a beer on stage, unfortunately. Sorry, it's liquor commission. Cool. I hate to do this part. Ladies and gentlemen, first I would say give her John Callie!
Hey everybody, it's Paia, by the way. I'm Hispanic, as you can all tell. I'm kind of new to Maui. I've only been out here for about 3 months. I've been visiting for a long time, love Maui. It's John Paia, by the way. And there's a couple of things that I've been learning about, you know? Aloha spirit is one of those. I got a bike to move around. You know, I moved out here 3 months ago, didn't buy a car right away. I got a bike. There's a lot of bike lanes around. I figured it was like a bike-friendly place. So I was on my way to Safeway. Somebody rolled down the window in a Tacoma, go figure, and he says, "Nice hat, you fucking retard." It was this hat. I love this hat. I don't get it. What's wrong with my hat? You guys know how Elvis died? I almost went out like him a couple days ago. He died on the toilet. He had a heart attack. I wasn't on coke though, by the way. I don't remember who was talking about it. Hit me up later. Didn't go out like that, but I was on the toilet and a fucking centipede crawled under the door. I froze. I was scrolling, doom scrolling. I took a video of my knees, and then the centipede sent it to my boss. He said gross. I thought he was talking about the centipede. I went through a breakup like a year ago, so it still feels really fresh as a guy. You know, I moved out here because of that. It was one of the main reasons. So I feel like I can talk about her now. It's great. I took her to a hibachi for her first time. I don't know if you guys have been to like a Benihana, where the guy does like tricks. He makes the volcano with the onion. She had never seen that before. She'd always wanted to see one. She was from Mexico. She was an illegal immigrant. Loved her. She got deported. That's why we broke up. But we went to a hibachi place. I'm from Phoenix. It was in Phoenix. I don't know if you guys have been to Phoenix, but if you get sushi in Phoenix, they all say Japanese words, but they're all Mexican. And you know that's not real Japanese they're saying. It's just Spanish words with a Japanese accent. And so we sit down, and it's like a semi-circle table that we're at, and the guy's right in front of us. We were the only people there for lunch. Until a family kind of came in and sat down. I was trying to play it cool with my girlfriend. She was on one side of me. I didn't even look over. It was a family of 3. I could tell it was like 2 older parents and their adult child. Didn't really think anything of it. And as the hibachi show started to get going, the guy's like snapping his knives around, throwing fish in the air or shrimp, and he catches an egg in his hat, drops it with his spatula, catches it. It was great. And then he starts like flipping a shrimp, and he kind of points it to my girlfriend, and he's like, "You ready? You ready?" And so she opens her mouth to catch it. He throws it. She catches it in her mouth. I'm really impressed by that. But the guy that sat down with this older couple was like, "Wow, she's really good at catching things in her mouth." And I don't know. I just like felt emasculated for a moment, and I was about to say something, and I look over, and I realized the guy was kind of a downy. Like retarded, kind of like me on a bike, and so I like immediately like shifted gears, and I was just like, yeah, she is good at that. And then the hibachi guy, this Mexican guy, starts acting like he's gonna throw one to this other, guy sitting next to us. And so he opens his mouth and he's like, "I want one!" And the guy throws it, and it's a shrimp, and it like goes in the air, fish hooks this guy. I'm not even kidding you. The hibachi guy literally acted like he had a fucking fishing pole and goes, "Fish on!" Right? Fish hooks this kid. And I've never been the same since I saw that. It was a magical moment. I'm John Paia, guys. This is my first night on stage. Let's give it to Chino. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Keep it going for John Kanye, ladies and gentlemen. I will respect your ethnic pronunciations when you respect our Kahakos and Okinas out here, all right? Woo! It's Haile Miley, bitch, not Haile Miley. I want to hear that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in luck. We have a visiting comic from another scene, maybe perhaps a professional. ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Louisiana. By the way, you don't have to do new material. Please impress us, impress your friends. I believe you're hilarious. Get over Garrett Nelson!
What's up, Maui? Not really sure what to say. That last comic just took my entire set word for word, so kind of weird. Now I've been on Maui for a few days now. I'm from Louisiana, and I gotta say, the cars here, beaters. I mean, what is going on? I've been riding in my friend's car this week. This car looks like a transformer mid-transition. Like the front bumper looks like it's turning into a pair of teeth. And they're supposed to be white, but I like Maui though. Maui's great. The only wish I have is like, can we build a Waffle House on this beach? I was like, come on. I love Waffle House. I do think it's funny though how your standards change when you go to Waffle House. Like half of those employees, I wouldn't even let sit on my living room couch, but I'll let them cook me breakfast, you know? I feel like to get hired at Waffle House, you gotta fail a drug test. You hear one of those employees say they're going for a smoke break? That could mean one of like 4 things. That's why I eat with a fork when I go to Waffle House. Still, spoon's got burn marks on the bottom of it. Crazy. I'm glad y'all came out tonight to support live comedy. This is great. Give it up for yourselves, yeah. Even though there's only like 20 of us in here, you know, we don't even call it stand-up comedy when there's only 20 people. We call it awkward. Cause it is. I'll prove it. No, my name is Garrett. I'm from Louisiana, and a little bit about me. Growing up, my family was poor. I mean, we weren't like poor, but we definitely didn't do any luxurious activities like taking our dog to the vet, you know? Like anytime our dog had a health issue, my dad would just sit the kids down and be like, look, he is getting old, guys. I'm like, getting old? Dude, he just got hit by a Dodge Durango. We're like, yeah, but he's a dog, he's tough. He's gonna get through it. He's a 10-pound Winnie dog, okay? He was like, go ask your mom to take him to the vet. See what she says. Mom's in the back room crying. She's the one that ran him over. She's not even upset that the dog's hurt. She didn't have full coverage on the Durango. So, we lost a lot of dogs to the highway when I was a kid. Just dog after dog. They were all dying. You're upset, but like I lived it. Like I appreciate the empathy, but alright, I gotta stop when I cry. But no, we went through a lot of dogs. Like, so I learned when we get a new dog, don't get too attached to him, because he ain't gonna make it that long. And unfortunately, it's followed me into my adult life. So now I'm talking to a girl and I start to like her. I'm like, don't get too attached, because what if she gets heartworms, you know? What if my mom pulls in the driveway too fast and runs her over? I don't know. That. We went through so many dogs in our backyard, pretty much just turned into like a dog graveyard. It's upsetting. My dad was just burying dogs all over the place. Like, I don't know how fossil fuels work, but I feel like one day that land is going to be worth a lot of money. Either that or 200 years from now, archaeologists are going to be digging there like, what natural disaster took out all these animals? Just 18-wheelers and parvo. That's it. Our dogs didn't die from natural causes. What are you talking about? Speaking of death, I skipped a funeral to be here tonight, so glad we had a good turnout at least. That's alright. I've been to enough funerals recently. I went to a black funeral the other day. After that, I'm convinced that white people don't actually care about each other. Everybody's screaming and crying. Dude, you go to a white guy's funeral, even the family's checking their watch. They're eating lunch. I remember my first funeral was traumatizing. I was 4 years old, little boy, and my grandma's sister had passed away. So we go to the funeral, the whole family's standing by the casket, talking, viewing the body. And I just thought that we were at church. I didn't know what a funeral was. And so my grandma picks me up, leans into the casket and goes, "Do you remember her?" I'm like, "This is our first time meeting." No. You know, there's a reason that they lay the casket at a certain height. If you're not tall enough to see the body, you probably shouldn't. So, now when people ask if I remember my great Aunt Louise, I'm like, yeah, I remember her. She wasn't really in her prime when I met her, but at one point we were pretty close. Hey guys, y'all have been great. My name is Gary Nelson. Thank y'all. Give it up for Chino.
Keep it going for Garrett Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. You know when you have visiting, sometimes we have visiting comics, and like when they have approach, I'm like, I can tell this person's fucking nasty. Thanks, Garrett. Thanks for sharing your form of nasty. Not like nasty gross, I mean like sick with it. You know what I mean? Do kids still talk like that? I don't fucking care. That's how I talk. I don't care if I sound stupid. I'll sound stupid for my life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now, a man of many names. I don't know what to call him on most nights, but tonight we're calling him Nigel Thompson. Get over Nigel Thompson.
Hello, I'm Nigel Thompson of National Public Radio. Good evening, I'm Nigel Thompson of National Public Radio, and this is the very first edition of NPR Headlines Live. Due to recent events that we'll discuss shortly, we at NPR have been forced to think outside the box and bringing news to a live audience, and hopefully an entertaining manner, is just one of many changes to come. So, that said, let's get with the headlines. We'll begin tonight in Washington, where the malignant mushroom-membered mongrels of the Trump administration have vowed to cut federal funding to public broadcasts such as NPR over unsubstantiated and frankly idiotic claims of bias by Trump and his legion of bootlickers. A spokesperson from NPR on Sunday wrote on X, "The fascistic fuckfaces of the Trump administration have cut off our funding, citing bullshit claims of bias among the reasons for this absolutely batshit decision. We at NPR exist to serve all Americans, regardless of their politics, even if we find their politics retarded and repugnant. This move will most harm NPR's affiliate stations, including those that serve the inbred supporters of the current regime. I have personally converted to Catholicism as of this morning so that I can pray. Not only that the American legal system holds up in our favor, but that Trump is personally sent to hell, where he will spend an eternity repeatedly having his eyes pecked out and getting skull-fucked by Satan." Trump took to Truth Social almost immediately, saying, "If anyone is doing any skull-fucking around here, it is me, the greatest skull-fucker who ever lived. Eye-patched pirates and marauders line up outside the Oval Office to get their skulls fucked by the best. Just ask your mom." In other news, Astronomer CEO Andy Byron was caught sharing an intimate moment at a Coldplay concert with a woman who wasn't his wife. This forced millions of men like myself to face our own inner scumbag as we immediately felt sorry for the man. Personally, my sympathy was less about him getting caught cheating and more about him getting dragged to a Coldplay concert. We at NPR fucking hate Coldplay. Now let's go to New York, where a man has been fatally injured when his chain got taken by an MRI machine. Witnesses say that the man failed to heed the warning against entering the room while wearing metal. They went on to say that as soon as the man entered the room, the chain acted like a torpedo, rocketing the man into the machine, where the man's baffled and undoubtedly horrified brother was getting scanned. As of now, there is no evidence of prior street feud between the man and the MRI machine. We've yet to reach out to the MRI machine for comment. And now, on the other side of the road, Israel continues to bomb the ever-living shit out of Gaza. In a decades-long conflict, we've only recently started to notice. An official from the IDF told NPR that every single death was justified because the entire population of Gaza are between the fighting age of between the moment of birth and until the moment of death. He went on to say that any questioning of the matter was anti-Semitism, and you wouldn't want to be a bigot now, would you? After seeing the conflict for myself, I can't help but ask, is this bombing campaign a bit excessive? And in breaking news, NPR host Nigel Thompson has been fired for anti-Semitism, and it is likely he'll have his citizenship revoked by the Trump administration. Well, that's fucked. Well, here's some fucking news for you. Randy Miller, head of human resources down at NPR, is a fucking cunt, and his wife has been cheating on him with half the office. I didn't get in on it, of course, because I don't want the herpes, and she's a bit of an ugly cunt. Speaking of ugly cunts, Jason Dunham, down at finance, is probably on the Epstein list, and he definitely shit his pants at the management retreat last summer and tried to blame it on the smell on a gardener. Speaking of the Epstein list, NPR still gets a shitload of money from the Gates Foundation and other compromised billionaires trying to get tax write-offs, so Trump stopping federal funding means absolutely big.
Stop!
Fuck off.
Exactly as I remember NPR. Unlistenable after 2 minutes. No, I'm joking. You had one, what was that one joke you said that got a good one from me? Shit, what was it? Coldplay. That Coldplay joke was solid. Throw everything else out, but that Coldplay one was solid. What do you think? What do you think? No? Not yet? No. You got laughs. You were safe. Give it up for Nigel, ladies and gentlemen. Real name Brady. You got it right. I did it. Ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian coming to the stage, a hilarious man with a silly arrangement of facial hair. Give it up for Shane Nelson.
It's a mustache. That's all it is. It's a mustache. Nigel, thanks for warming them up, bud. All right. My name is Shane Nelson, and I'm going to do all new material for you folks tonight. My name is Shane Nelson, and I am mostly white, and I'm also Native American. I'm Lakota. And I have to tell you guys that because otherwise you wouldn't know. Also, I work out at the gym. And I have to tell you guys that, otherwise you wouldn't know. This is true. Last year, today is the 1 year anniversary where I was like, I'm about to turn 32. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna get fit. And so last year, on today, I started a fitness journey. I weighed 230 pounds when I started, and it's been exactly 1 year, and I weighed myself this morning, and I weigh 230 pounds. Shit don't change. And I worked out this morning, and after I work out at Planet Fitness, which is right next to Chick-fil-A. Man, dude, I come out, and sometimes I go to Chick-fil-A. I waste that whole hour of working out just to hit Chick-fil-A, dude. But I love Chick-fil-A. Like, when I first heard Maui was getting a Chick-fil-A, I was very excited, and I was hanging out with my buddy Larry, who happens to be a gay black man. And I was like, Larry, did you hear they're opening a Chick-fil-A? Aren't you so excited? And he's like, why? Because I'm black? And I was like, no, because you're gay. You guys probably heard from NPR that there's a shortage of pilots. There's a shortage of pilots right now, and normally it takes 2 to 3 years to become a pilot, but because there's a shortage, they're doing a shorter course to get more pilots. So now, instead of 2 to 3 years, you can become a pilot in 1 year. They're calling it a crash course. Did you guys hear that these astronauts got stuck in space? You guys hear about that? I know. I'm a little late to I feel like Russia trying to get to the moon, you know? I'm late. So I'm gonna do this joke. 2 pilots got stuck in space, a man and a woman. And we all had the first same thought when we heard about this, right? Like, are they gonna have sex? Right? We all thought it. And for me, like, it'd be hard not to, just because there's like that, like, porn has got this image in our mind where, like, if I was stuck in space with a woman, and let's say she's my stepmom, and she's like, oh no, I'm stuck in space. Oh shit, dude. I'm like, oh, stepmom, I've always been interested in your. Fuck this up. You guys would watch that, right? You guys would watch that? Honestly, Kim Kardashian, that's how she became famous. She fucked Ray J, dude. If those 2 fucked in space and filmed it, we would watch it. Am I right? Right? Okay, my paper flew over there. Can someone go get that? Thank you. This is what happens. When you become famous, shit like this, I imagine, will happen. Astronauts. Oh, yeah. You imagine me and my girlfriend, if I had a girlfriend, we're in space, and we're floating around, we're having sex, and I'd be like, I like when she's on top sometimes. So I'm like, hey, get on top. And she's like, I am on top, and I can't tell because we're in space. All right. I promise my most recent girlfriend that I wouldn't tell jokes about her when we broke up. So this joke is not about her. This is about another girl that I dated recently. I was dating this girl, and I showed her love on the spectrum. Corky, you're bumping my camera a lot. Maybe that was Ivan, but Corky, I'm blaming you. I was dating this girl that's not my most recent ex, and I showed her love on the spectrum. And she binge-watched it. She loved it. And she called me up and she's like, hey, you could do better. You're not doing enough. Yeah, love on the spectrum raised the bar in my relationship, which is not fair because how do I compete with did I do the 1 minute? Okay. How do I compete with those guys, you know? Like, those dudes, they're like, they say everything I think and everything I feel. They're always like, love is an emotion that burns like a sword. And like, I can say that, but I just feel retarded when I do, you know? I had another joke, but I forgot. Fuck. All right, my name's Shane Nelson. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Bye.
Shane Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. You can't enjoy their entertainment and say words like retard. That's fucking counterintuitive. All right? Why is it always people with low IQs that want to bring back the word retard? Well, you miss your old nickname, stupid? Is that what you want? You did. You said it. John said it. Shane said it. There you go. The retards. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I did just say it, but I put it in air quotes, which means I'm making you say it. I didn't say it. You said it. I'm quoting you. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now. Did you go to Iraq yet? When do you go? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next comedian is going back to Iraq next month, so enjoy them while you can, because it's hard to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Bashar!
Keep it going for Chino, guys. like Chino was saying, my name is Bashar, and I am from Iraq, but I know most of you will call me Bashir and ask me about my life in Afghanistan. I am going to Iraq next month for my dad's 70th birthday, giving up for my dad. My friends always ask me the difference between Hawaii and Iraq, and honestly, truth is Hawaii is pretty soft, right? All these acai balls and sunsets, right? You lose touch. So I am going home to visit family, but I'm also sharpening my survival skills again, right? Hawaii is like getting an Uber Lux, right? You get in there, you get your water. The driver asks you how's the climate, right? Iraq is like getting an Uber share. The windows might be rolled down. Driver might be smoking. Might be on the phone with one of his wives. Over here also we have laws, we have crosswalks, right? When you get to a crosswalk, all these cars stops like you're some kind of endangered species, right? In Iraq we don't have those. We have trauma, right? It's just you, your legs, and a prayer. Right? People hear that I'm Arab and they assume Dubai. And I'm like, no, I'm the kind of Arab whose family vacations were just moving during war. Okay, on another topic. So I feel like we collectively use the word balance a lot, right? Like, let's see, where am I going with this? I feel like it's overused that it's using its weight, where now balance is just basically drinking tequila and electrolytes at the same time. Right? Like I was following this girl that captioned something on Instagram saying, healing isn't linear, right? And then went on a trip with this guy named Sage to Tulum and changed her name to Moonlight for the weekend. And I'm like, what are you balancing? Hormones and delusion? Okay, moving on. On the other hand, I have a friend that had to surgically remove his tonsils so he can do cocaine without getting infections. And somehow I just respect him more, right? You know that man is not searching, right? That man had a purpose and he removed his airways to pursue that. Okay. You guys ever lie on your resume to get a job? Right? Well, I do that with my whole life to my parents, just so they'd be less ashamed of me. Right? I'm still trying to convince them renting scooters on Maui is a real job. Right? If they only knew what I did prior to this. I lived in Spain with no papers. Basically took whatever job I could get. First job was at an illegal weed club, right? Looked like a lounge, operated like a trap house, cash only, right? Then I ran into this guy named Alberto, and he got me a call center job. First day of the job, they're like, pick a fake name, say you're in Luxembourg. And I'm sitting there, is this a job or improv? I quit as soon as I found out what it was, and then I ran into Alberto a couple of days later, and he's like, what happened? I was like, well, it just wasn't for me. And he's like, no, I just heard you're a pussy. I'm like, well, I guess I just didn't have the balls to defraud the elderly. Okay, that's my time. Thanks, guys.
Bashar, you had some great punches in there. I just think that, like, third world comedy is hard in first world areas. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what's funny about when the UNICEF truck doesn't show up? You know, it's like, So you guys feel that, right? That shit kills. Kills it. No, all right. Bashar, one more time. Give it for Bashar. He was comedian of the week last week. Which means I will be going around picking up tips for the tip jar. We'll figure out who that is by the end of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, next one up to the stage, the Moose of Me of comedy. One of my favorite acts. You'll know him. You'll love him when you see him. Give it for Chuck Thompson!
Holy shit, give it up for Chino LaForge, everybody. Whoa! Give it up for the Waffle House table in the corner. Whoa! They call it a Waffle House, but it feels like a Waffle Home. And I love Chino so much, you know, not just because his tits are gorgeous, but because he suggested that an open mic do something fucking crazy. That we all do original material. I know, I get it. So let's burn through all our fucking terrible jokes. If you're a Siamese twin, I'm genuinely afraid. We are gonna go through the worst of the fucking worst. Except for you, Doug! Okay. Are you guys ready for the worst jokes that I don't want to tell at a dive bar in Kihei? Waffle House! Waffle Home. Waffle Condo with the 500-month HOA. Are you guys ready for the worst jokes I've ever written? Yeah, buddy! Growing old is tough, dude. I grew up in the 90s, dude. I used to love bands like fucking Blink-182. When my parents were being pieces of shit, I blasted all the small things. You know, I fucking love that shit. I watched it the other day. BMW is playing Blink-182. That's not punk. There's no joke to that, but fuck those fuckers. I fucking hate them. Oh, man. My favorite musician, Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails. Clapping now. He's a fucking vegan. 9 Inch Nails, more like 9 Inch Kales. You want to fuck me like an animal? You don't have to eat them. All right. I was hoping that joke would bring us closer. All right, cool. Fucking Adam Sandler, bro. Holy fucking shit, dude. He's doing Happy Gilmore 2. No! That movie's gonna be 82 minutes long on like your Netflix. And dude, like the movie was so good in the night. How good could that movie possibly be now? Right? And all the Subway commercials and shit, you know? I went to a Subway because I also love a 6-inch special. And it said, Subway, eat fresh. So I left. If your voice is hoarse, go to the medical center. If your voice is half hoarse, go to the medical centaur. Okay. I have a friend that's so Republican, he doesn't let his friends play Marco Polo in his above ground pool. They play Marco Rubio. Maybe you could find a higher socioeconomic bracket. Okay. Did I do my joke about deja vu yet? Steven Tyler, his daughter is named Liv Tyler, and I think that's really rude because he's gonna die soon. I love boobs. I love them so much. I could have been taller, but in 7th grade, I was like, God, please make sure I'm short and fat forever. And he did, because God totally exists. I love boobs. grew my own. Alright, now I'm gonna do a bit, and you have to guess whether it's porn on basic cable or a woman scanning a potato at Safeway last week. I'm not gonna do that bit. But I did record a lot of porn basic cable growing up, and then I sold those VHS tapes to people, so I'm a real spice trader. I worked for a job and I never got promoted, and then the company sold and they fired all the managers, and I never got promoted, so they didn't fire me. And I felt like a serf tied to the land. That's what surfing in Maui means. I slapped a sommelier once because he wouldn't stop whining. Come on! Come on!
No.
I was reading a children's history book about Holland. Does anyone think it's weird that growing up there's a children's book tale where you stick your finger in a dike to save the day? What's up with that? It's never worked for me. Shitting is the most asinine thing we do. When you sleep, where do your fingers go? When you sleep, where do your fingers go? My fingers go all over the place. But just once, when I wake up in the morning, I wish that my butthole smelled like fingers instead of the other way around. Such a smart crowd. Wordplay is just as important as foreplay. That's what my mom always said. Okay. I got one for you. I got a riddle for you. When is gay porn not gay porn? When it goes straight to DVD. Okay. This is like the worst night of my life, and I love all of you.
No, Chuck. We're gonna pick up the shitty joke confetti. That's your job.
Where's the hat?
Even a good stripper picks up her clothes afterwards. Do the shit. That's right. It's nobody else's mess but yours to clean up. I'm not gonna make anybody else do that. Don't make me bend over. I'm taller than you. Chuck Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, I'll take a little while for this introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian is the first-time performer here on the Comedy Simulator. Has brought many friends to the Comedy Simulator, has been several times to the Comedy Simulator, but yet to get on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, her first time on stage. Give it up for Serena!
Alright, easy on me. So I've been reflecting a lot on my values, and when I was younger I was such an intense, like, fuck the patriarchy kind of girl, and as I've been working for the last 15 years or so, I'm like, we can keep a little bit of that, you know? It's like, my wet dream is if my husband just left the house for 8 hours a day and just let me smoke weed on the couch and diddle my skittle alone. That'd be nice. I don't have a husband, you know, shocking. Yeah, so I was really reflecting too. I used to live on a commune back in the day, Eugene, Oregon. Has anyone heard of Eugene? Yeah. Eugene, Oregon. So it's pretty much like the cold version of haiku, where it's like anarchist, old Ike. Since they did a little too much acid in the 70s, a little more intense hippies than here. They're kind of soft here. And I can say bold, a little bit. I can say bold Ike because my aunt is a lesbian, so I got permission from her. That makes me a quarter lesbian because of South Park, you know. Cartman said, "You ever watch South Park?"
Yeah. All my worst.
So I'm just a quarter lesbian. And so I got the opportunity when I was in my 20s to live on this commune, and they were all vegan, intense, militant lesbians. So I lied and said I was a vegan to live on this commune because the rent was $300 a month. Can you believe it? watched a little too much porn back in the day, and I was thinking that we would just be having lesbian orgies and then, casual scissoring on a Tuesday night, my dreams. But it was not like that. They were super intense. They actually led a club for self-defense classes, and they were gnarly. So I would just sneak out and cook meat at night in the parking lot, and I would hide in my room and eat the meat like a little rat. And I called it Rat Girl Summer. And then one time, I thought everyone was gone, so I cooked eggs in the big girl kitchen, and this lady came home and she was like, "Oh, what the fuck is that burning flesh? Burning flesh!" And I was so pissed. And I was like, "No, I'm just frying the aborted chicken heart fetus. It's just an egg, And I got kicked out of there. So unfortunately, I'm not as good of a vegan as I thought. Not vegan. I really tried. And so now I follow a rule that's called the 80-20 rule. Have you heard of Donna Ace, the body ecology diet? So 80% I eat, veggies, 20% I eat meat, 80% I eat organic, 20% I have some street tacos in Mexico at 4 in the morning. Just give myself a little slack. And so I follow that rule with everything in my life, even dating, especially here on Maui. I know we all know how great it is.
Woo! Amazing.
So 80% I have standards, I really value myself. 20% I go home with a guy at ecstatic dance that lives in a van, and it's just unfortunate it's called balance. And so, those guys, they really know how to give it to you. It's like ain't no one can fuck like a guy that needs a home. Like they call it hobosexual now. Hobosexual. So these guys really give it to you. They're like, my car is gonna break down. I need it. So, yeah, that happens. So 80% I like dating guys that know what a 401k is. 20% I just go off the rails, give myself a little treat. But yeah, so it's all about balance, and namaste, single forever.
First time doing comedy, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for Serena. Before getting on the stage. Good job. Good job. Well done. Full 5 minutes. Well done. As opposed to the regular stage. All right. Who's it? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the host of the Tuesday night comedy, Mike Kihei. If you're looking for a Tuesday night comedy, Mike, at Vibe, or not, is Vibe, it's still Vibe? Vibe these days? It's still Vibe, right? Vibe and Kihei, 8:30, hosted by this gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Morgan T.
I guess, yeah.
All right, way to go. Thank you, Chino. And come on, you can do it. It's okay. He's a little nervous. It's not his first time on stage. It never gets easier. It just gets more fun. Great job, Serena, first timer. I mean, for the first timers club, and the newcomers and the new faces and this crowd is great. Give yourselves a hand. It's awesome to be a part of this and be fun. Meanwhile, this is my dog Jack. He's been with me 16 years, and it's kind of like a housemate that you never get tired of. He's pretty good. I do feel like I missed a golden opportunity, though. As much time as we've spent at the beach over the years, I could have named him Shark, and I could have had a really good time with that. Always yelling out, "Shark, come Shark!" He's pretty good. My man, I noticed your hair earlier, and you must get some comments on him. He's like people with tattoos and things like that, and it reminded me of kind of back in the day. I, ran with a bunch of punk rockers, and they had, a lot of extreme haircuts, and I even have one too. But it's great. You can start out with like a hair, and then you can just do
do that in like, you know, a few minutes, and like next thing you know, you're like the Mohawk guy, and it's really cool. And I was admiring this other guy's Mohawk one day at a coffee shop here in Paia, and I was looking at him, and I guess he didn't like me looking at him, and he was like, man, what the fuck are you looking at? And his Mohawk was a little bigger than yours. It was green and blue and yellow, and he had a bunch of sort of like made up tattoos on the face and things like that, some color. And he's like, what are you looking at, man? And I was like, it just occurred to me that when I fucked that peacock back in 1986, it might be my son that I never met. He didn't like that joke. But so I got out of the coffee shop. On the way out, I was kind of tasting my coffee, and I thought, man, I said it out loud, this coffee tastes like mud. And the barista said, well, it was ground just this morning. Thank you. That's really that one. We're choking up here. We're gonna wear the phone out there. And to think of it all, I canceled an appointment to be here tonight. It was with the sperm bank. I just called them up and told them I couldn't come. And it's pretty easy. But it's funny. I'm getting to an age where there's a lot of fun things happening at this age, and I got a lot going for me. My sight is going, my knees are going, my neck, my back is killing me, but me, I can't complain. And then I am safe this week. Actually, marked myself safe for not getting exposed on a jumbotron affair. I mean, it's like this guy. He had it all. He's a CEO, and then he went to Coldplay of all things. And it wasn't for social media. I mean, like before social media, you could have dads could have a whole side family in the next town over, and as long as they didn't shop at the same store, I mean, it was all good. Like my dad, But those holidays are fun. Anyway, I know we got a few more comedians to go, and you guys have been nice enough to give me your time. I really appreciate it. And if you didn't get enough of this tonight, come on down to PA tomorrow, Tuesday. We do this at 5, about 8 o'clock every Tuesday. It's a whole other open mic show, and there's a little music there too. So come on down, have a good time with us. All right, thanks, Tito.
It's like two dogs in a dog park. Give it up for Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. A sweet, sweet man. He does sweet comedy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian, you might need subtitles for. I do apologize. This is a Netflix. He comes from another country. You may not understand him. Take your time. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the very funny Ivan!
I did take my time. Actually, it took me like 15 hours to get here. So at the top of the show, I don't remember, Chino was talking about an astronaut suit, the 7-hour each, remember? NASA made that suit from scratch. So I am from another country, I am from Argentina, I am Latino, my first language is landscaping. And in Argentina, there's a singer, a very famous singer who's supposed to be like the Tina Turner of Argentina. Her name is Latina Turner. Two songs. I live in Haiku, and my landlord, his name is Phil, and I call him landfill. He doesn't like it. He's a piece of garbage. They always say the grass is greener on the other side, right? I broke into my neighbor's house and my weed is better. Okay, here's a Mongolian soft drinks come in a Genghis Khan. Alright. Alright. My cousin works at a bank and she gossips about everything. She's a teller. Okay, here's the worst one. Hold on. You ready? Okay. Einstein was German, right? But he wasn't a Nazi. But his uncle was a Nazi. That proves that not everything is related. Relative. Fuck English! Alright. I gave a gift to okay. I gave an ex-girlfriend a gift. It was a bra. And she looked at me and said, "This is not my cup of tea." Come on, bra! Alright. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is a worse one. Masturbation is a touchy subject. We all try to avoid talking about this, but if you think about it, masturbation is beating around the bush. Too graphic, right? Just came to my mind. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is new material, I guess. Dating apps are like wallets full of singles. Cashiers love them, but pretty women think you're broke. This is going so great. I fucking love this night. I guess this is, I don't know. Can I change my name?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Walter. Thank you so much. All right, let me see if I can pull one more of this fucking mess. I fucked that one up. Okay. I got one more. Okay. One more minute. Jesus Christ. So, one thing I get a lot is when I say my name, people don't understand me because my hobby is not being understood. That's kind of the thing. And I say my name is Ivan, and they go Iva, and I'm like, yeah, that's close enough. And they go like, Iva, close enough? Are you Russian? Yeah, that's close enough. Let's close enough. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Ivan.
Keep arriving! By the way, everybody, it is last call. Make sure you've got your final beverages in. We just have a few more comedians for the night. Unfortunately, sorry comics, I don't have room for everybody on the list tonight. If you wanted to get on, didn't get on, let me know. Next week you will get a preferential spot on the list. Sorry, we have a hard out at 9 these days. Gotta change it up, change with the times. All right, coming to the stage right now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this year's roast battle. He's got his own show coming up on the 31st. That's next week. Give it up for Joel Hewitt!
All right, everybody, keep it going for Chino, huh? All right, new material night. Last week, before the open mic, I was sitting in that alleyway over there, and I was trying to write jokes, so I was trying to think of things to say. And this guy and his dog walked up behind me, and it kind of startled me. So I turned around and I saw a guy in this toy poodle, and I go, "Hey man, cool dog." He was very smug about it. He goes, "I know." And part of me wanted to be like, "You know what, fuck you and your dog, man. I was just trying to be nice." What the fuck? I know. I'm just trying to distract from the fact that your little dog scared me. I'm a little bit about me, guys. I'm not gay. I'm also not a woman. Nowadays you have to tell that. But my daughter, yes, God. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me. No. My daughter, if you asked her, she would tell you that I'm gay and a woman because I've told her that men with long hair are lesbians. And that's just how she exists in this world. And bless her little heart, she has trouble pronouncing certain words. She can't say comedian. She can't say that, it's too complex of a word. So she goes around in her little preschool and she tells her friends and her teachers, she goes, "You may not notice, but my daddy is a silly man." It's very sweet. And then she'll go, "And my daddy is a lesbian too." I got a good mom, man. Everybody give it up for my mom real quick. Yeah, she's a good lady. I got a power mom. What is a power mom? A power mom, when we go shopping, her walking speed is my full sprint, just to keep up with her, you know what I mean? My mom's been in 3 fights, and to tell you what kind of lady my mom is, when she got ready for one fight, this lady was taking her jewelry off, getting ready to square up with my mom, and my mom left her earrings on, and the lady was like, "You gonna take your earrings off?" And she goes, "Oh honey, I'm not gonna need to take these off. I'll be done with you in a second." Right, that's the kind of lady my mom is. But I saw her get in a fight one time when I was in elementary school. Let me paint the scene for you. The day was 2002, September 3rd, at around 3:30 in the afternoon at Eastside Elementary. In this corner, we have Angie Hewins in the Green Astro Band, weighing in at 120 pounds. And in this corner, we had a combined weight of 120 pounds, 2 8-year-old boys. These 2 kids beat me up at school, and I got in the carpool line, and I got in my mom's car, and she looked at me, and she saw dried blood and dried tears on my face. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm okay." And she got out of the car, and she found the kids, and she beat the shit out of them. I mean, like, now you gotta imagine, this is 2002 in Cobb County, Georgia. This is before CCT cameras and all this red tape and child abuse laws. You know what I mean? But yeah, my mom whooped the hell out of those kids, and when she was done, we got in the car. She looked at me, she goes, "Are you okay?" I go, "Yeah, Mom, I'm okay." And then we went and got ice cream and went to Wednesday night church. That's a good lady right there. I got a good dad too. Everybody give it up for my dad. My dad, I love this. My dad naturally was the guy to teach me potty training growing up. Yeah, at around 5 or 6 is where I mastered that. But I wasn't always proactive enough. I didn't always remember to stop and go to the bathroom. So my dad came up with his own creative way of asking me if I needed to go. Whenever he had to pee, he'd go, "Hey buddy, you wanna go sword fight?" And then we'd go find a tree. We'd go find a tree, and we'd pee on the tree and we'd cross streams. You know, it was a really wholesome moment. And that just goes to show everybody that not all childhood memories of your father's penis have to be bad, you know? And if you don't laugh at that, I strongly recommend you go to therapy with your father. Oh man, all right, I got one more joke. I got one more joke for you. My dad was also the person to teach me how to drive and do a lot of things. And I can remember the time in life where I had my last shower with my dad. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And the fact that I can remember this is probably an indicator that it happened too late in life. But I was looking up at my dad, he was washing soap out of his eyes, washing his hair or something like that. And my dad's a pretty tall guy, you know, so I happened to look up and see his dick kind of looking down at me, you know, for lack of a better description. Now, this was coincidentally the first time in life that I got my first impulse thought. Right? I'm looking up at his dick, and I went, and my dad reacted exactly as you think he would. He was like, "Oh, what the hell? Get out, man. You're too old for this shit. Like, never again." Anyway, fast forward like 15 years later, he's teaching me how to drive manual. And we got that moment where you're coming to a red light and you take it out of gear. You know what I'm talking about, everybody? Yeah. And you wiggle the stick, and I looked at him, I couldn't help it, man. I looked at my dad and I go, "Hey Dad." And he goes, "Get the fuck out, man. Get out. You're too old for this shit. Never again." All right. I got a show coming up on the 31st. Woo! Yeah, come check it out. Thank you very much. That's my time.
check it out. We also got a show this Saturday at, is it Luna Farms, right?
No,
No, we changed the location.
Heritage Hall.
Where is it?
Heritage Hall.
Heritage Hall.
Heritage Hall, sorry, the accent. And so, it's at 401 Baldwin if you need to make it. That's this Saturday. Come talk to Ivan if you want to know about ticket information. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the last act of the night. He traditionally closes out the show. We want to thank you so much for coming out. I'll give the final statements after. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Doug. D-O-V-E Doug.
Thank you. Finally, you got it right. So I have no new material, so I'm just gonna sit here. What, I got 5 minutes?
Three.
No?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. What's that? Okay. Yesterday I was super hungry. I just didn't get a chance to eat breakfast or lunch, so finally I was up at Wailuku. I finished everything I had to do. And there was this little specialty food store. And so I walked inside and there was an older, it was like a mom and pop thing. And there was an older woman behind the cash register. She looked pretty unhappy. Anyway, so I said, do you have any eggs? And she looked at me, she said, that's none of your business. So, and then she said to me, why, you have any sperm? I said, yeah. Why, are you hungry? All right. Looking at me, you might not believe that I was actually on the football team in college, kind of trend. But really, I had one of the back positions on the team. My position was flashback. It was my job to remind them how good they used to be. Don't all laugh at once, sir. And my girlfriend was on the football team also. Her position was in the men's locker room. It was the missionary position. So anyway, so we're kind of 2 minutes here. I told Chino I was going to do a joke that I wrote years ago or came up with, and I'm going to save it for the end. So what do I actually have here? A minute and a half?
You got 3 minutes left.
3 minutes, oh, okay. Your clock is slower than mine. Your clock.
Good.
Yeah. So where are we? Okay, there we go. Oh, I feel very good about myself. I managed to pull off what I didn't want to do this year on Independence Day that I did last year on Independence Day, which was last year on the 4th, I drank a third of a fifth and felt like half of my usual self. That might be the only fractional joke ever. Sometimes I go to nude beaches. I enjoy that. I like looking at women. And I was staring. I didn't think she was looking. I was staring at one woman's vagina. What can I tell you? And so she looked at me and looked kind of angry about it. I said, "Sorry, I was just contemplating." Thank you. Always good to get a laugh. All right, and what time is it? What, 2 minutes left now?
No.
Yeah, 2 minutes left.
About 2 minutes.
Exactly.
I got 9 o'clock.
So, I was in a doctor's office the other day, and you know how sometimes you're there on time for your appointment, and but they're taking longer than they're supposed to take, so finally the receptionist comes out and says, thank you for waiting. And I said, you mean I had a choice? I didn't have to wait, so I just got up and I walked into the doctor's office. I said, hi doc, and then I looked and there was a woman there who was in the middle of examination. She was like, just in her underwear. I said, wow, you're beautiful. I said, what are you doing after you go to the doctor's appointment? You want to hang out? And she said, yes, and I thought to myself, wow, this could actually be a business. I could teach people how to do this. It's called doctor's office dating. I was thinking it could go viral. I mean, just imagine something from a doctor's office going viral and nobody's getting sick. No injections, of course, the one that feels good, later. And that was that. Anyway, so here's the last joke. I'm not a doctor, so don't take this as medical advice or anything, but I came up with a cure for Alzheimer's. You ready? Forget about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the comedy simulator for the evening. Thank you so much for joining us in simulation. You two, you guys get audience of the night. Congratulations. You've been sitting there, well-behaved, engaged the entire time. Don't think I didn't notice you. It was almost you missing the dress right behind. It was almost you. You were very close to it. Yeah, you were here since the beginning. But I just kept looking at it. You guys were here the entire time. You get a bottle of High Spice hot sauce. Congratulations. Comedian of the night, Karen. Hey, kiss, brother. The Pride, Louisiana, right here himself. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Thanks for spending the gas money to come out. I mean, you know how bad open mics normally are. This is not bad, right? For an open mic, this is pretty damn good, right? See, you guys don't see it. You don't see how spoiled you are. But open mic comedy across the nation is a place where people go moments before writing their suicide letter. But not here. Not here tonight. This is where we come to have a good time. How strange. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for all the comedians you heard tonight. We love you. We'll see you next Monday. We got a show this Saturday and a show next week Thursday. Give it up for Paia Big Coffee. We love them. This happens here every Monday. Thank you so much. Get home safe. You had a good time. Tell your friends. And if you didn't, shut your fucking mouth. We don't need rumors. It's a small island. We'll see you next time. Love ya. Bye.
Simulator over.
Saturday, we're going to be at the Heritage Hall. What time? 6 o'clock start. 6:30 we are opening the doors. But yeah. Stand comedy? Yeah. 6. We're opening the doors. Bring your own beer. How many stand-ups? It's gonna be 5 performances.